Okay, time to learn the marker system. This is a great thing you can do on a rainy day. I've already been doing it with him for about 24 hours. He started taking food yesterday, just using cheese. You can use your dog's breakfast. You can use anything that is motivating to your dog. Marker system essentially is a clear communication that's allowing your dog to understand what exactly you want from them and if they're doing it correctly. So I use yes. And when I'm first doing this, I do what's called charging the marker, essentially keeping it very simple. The dog offers me eye contact. I say yes, and then I give food. I also, with this particular dog, because it was uncertain whether or not he really understood his name, I am going to pair the name, say yes, and then treat, so we can start creating a positive association to that name. Another benefit to that is if you start recall work or when you start recall work, name should be superseding your recall cue to get the dog's attention. So that just, if anything, puts a higher value on the name being something that the dog will turn and give you attention for. So let's go ahead and get started. Co. Yes. Now, I don't mind that he's in front of me. We have to remember that most dogs are treated sitting in front of the human. I will eventually shift him to where he's next to me, but right now, keeping expectations insanely low, not asking for sits, not asking for downs, not asking for anything other than eye contact, and then saying yes and rewarding for that. Co. Yes. Co. Yes. Very subtle flickers of the eye up to me. That's what I'm looking for. Co. Yes. Very boring, but good dog training is. So for me, yes always precedes food. It will always mean the delivery of food. Co. Yes. You can use a little bit of other verbal cue in there to try and get that attention and then fade that out. Co. Yes. I want to point something out that might be taken as a stress signal, which is the licking of the lips. We have to think about context. I am shoveling food into his mouth. So licking of the lips could also be because of the food being with this particular exercise. He is not stressed. I don't feel that this is any sort of cue that I need to take seriously, but that's something to be wary of and also cognizant of when you're watching people's videos online. A lot of times people will think they're seeing stress signals, but they're seeing a 5-second clip of a dog who's had a lot of food in a session and might be anticipating being given food. Co. Yes. My husband just pulled into the driveway, so I'm going to keep this relatively short because that's going to be adding a stressor to the situation. So I want to end it before we have my husband come into the door. Co. Yes. And we're going to stop there. So you need to pick your marker words and decide what they mean. What does yes mean to you? What does good mean to you? What does no mean to you? And what does it mean to the dog? And you have to be consistent. A lot of times when I first meet with a student, I will ask them, what are your marker words and what do they mean? And most of the time they have no idea. Write your marker words down so everybody in the family can be consistent and figure out what exactly they mean. It doesn't have to be yes. For me, yes is the same thing as using a clicker. I just try to keep it very simple for my students because I am not ignorant to the fact that most of my students are not going to be carrying a clicker around. So I try to keep it as simple as I can. If you have any questions, a lot of these questions can be answered in my Canine Guardian membership group, which has office hours twice a month.